Hello, beautiful, wonderful, majestic souls. My name is Dans. This is my channel, That Good Tarot, where we do timeless readings for anyone with any placements. Let's get into it. Let's see what your guides want to have a yap about, what areas of your life they want to bring to the forefront, to your focus, things that maybe you should keep an eye on, be a little bit more aware of, put your focus towards. We had a card come out of the pre-reading shuffle, and that card is the Ten of Swords. Oh, I had not flipped it until this moment. So, speaking of, I have been feeling, there's my guides. Hello. They tap on my head. Yep. So right before I came to this reading, I had been feeling this like really intense pressure on my body. It's like, physiologically, it's like the same as a panic attack, or what I would imagine a panic attack feels like. Where my body kind of starts like ticking, and then I feel like I can't breathe, and like a force is like pushing down on me. Now, this specific type of energy used to come in and interrupt the readings, and I didn't end up finishing the readings. But that happened earlier today as well. And it's really strange when it happens to me, because I have to try and look at my life and be like, what is causing this? And I really have to take stock and be like, nothing. Nothing in my life is causing this. Therefore, I have to surmise that it's not my energy. I'm tapping into a lot of people's energy on a regular basis. So, that door's kind of open. And I feel like the more I'm doing the readings, the stronger I'm getting, and the clearer the messages are coming through, and the faster they're coming through, and the more open that doorway is. And I'm still learning how to deal with that. Worth it. Worth it to be able to do this, because being in this energy and being in this space is one of my favorite things in the world. Anyways, I've been feeling this massive need to cry. Like I'm really, really sad. Really, really sad. And I don't understand, because I know that I'm not sad. I feel the sadness. And so part of me came to this reading thinking, maybe there's some people in the collective that are feeling quite sad at the moment. And I'm really sensitive to it. And then, of course, the Ten of Swords comes up. So let's get into it. We have 4 energies coming out here. We have the Death card. We have 2 of Wands in reverse, 2 of Coins in reverse, and the Ace of Wands in reverse. It feels like there has been a pretty significant ending. So I'm just going to move this. It's a bit in my view. Okay. There's been a pretty significant ending that kind of just crashes over you again and again and again in waves. We have the 2 of Wands in reverse. There feels like there's nowhere to go. 2 of Coins in reverse. All out of options, all out of directions, all out of ideas. There's this very defeated energy going on within you. Okay. So I feel like it could be something that is affecting multiple areas of your life. It could be straining you like physiologically. You could feel really tight, really drained. You could find your finances are, closing up a little bit. You could find that an idea of purpose or even inspiration, creativity has just like completely blocked off. It feels like there's been this really massive change or shift or closing or loss, and it's permeated so many things in your world. Okay, let's see how I'm going to navigate this. I don't think I'm going to dig into all those areas. I'm not going to dig into every single one. What I am going to dig into is this loss. And because we see the death here, we see this loss, this change, as the source. It's like if we deal with what's going on at the source, like the rest of this is like, these are symptoms of that. So we need to address the source. Okay. Universe, please, insight and information. What can you tell us about this death card? Oh, yeah, okay. This has definitely got to do with a relationship. You might have just gone through a breakup of some description, friend breakup, relationship breakup. It feels like there was this really generous, like giving energy within this dynamic. Like a real amazing exchange of love, like really loving. Within a space here with the Hanged Man energy, there does seem to be like there was some kind of period of peaceful isolation that turned into disconnection. So I just want to get a little bit of context on this Hanged Man. As I say this, I feel like a stabbing in my heart. Man, these readings. Maybe I might need to take a break after this reading. Just for like a day. Because I love doing these, but I feel like maybe we'll see. We'll see if I can stay away. We have the moon. Okay. There was a peaceful separation that went on within this. I feel like, can I get, okay. And we have the devil in reverse. Okay. Okay. We're doing this. Okay. So, I feel like you went into a state of peaceful isolation. I think something had started to change within you that made you really, really look at your most truthful inner thoughts and feelings about what was going on in this relationship. Yeah. You wanted so badly for this not to be a bad thing. And I think that, sorry, so many things are going on around me. Your isolation was not intended to be a negative thing. That wasn't your intention. But I think that you isolated from this very like giving energy. And then I think you were kind of blindsided by the disconnection. Like you were in your space, kind of coming to terms with yourself and understanding yourself, your wants, your needs, desires, and how you were going to navigate that moving forward. And then in the midst of that came this disconnection. So let's have a look at that. It feels like this disconnection, it definitely closed out a toxic cycle, but like it has, the devastation of it has really permeated so much in your life. Like it's really shaken you. Let's have a look at this Two of Cups in reverse. Universe, please, insight and information. What can you tell us about this? We have the Hierophant in reverse, the High Priestess, the Six of Swords, and the World. Yeah, okay. I think you were so adjusted to not only the pattern that you'd been in with this person, but also like certain relationship dynamics around you and demonstrated to you where periods of isolation, like the one that you went into, is very normal. So that might be normal for you or for them to do in this dynamic. It might be something that the people around you do, and it's like that's quite normal. You weren't expecting this person to react in the way that they did. You weren't expecting them to like go against the quote unquote rules that you had kind of had in your mind as like social contracts. The social contract being, I don't know, that they'll always be there for you, or that they'll give you unlimited space to figure out what you want. And this is going to be a little bit hard to hear. I think you were expecting, and like not consciously, but in the reality of things, you were expecting this person to adhere to the social contracts of the dynamic that you've always been in. And for that reason, that they wouldn't ever really go away, and that you would always be in some kind of union with them. But what that required was for them to reject themselves and their needs. And this person did not do that. This person completely flipped the script and was like, no, I'm going to be needy. I'm going to have my needs. I'm going to have my boundaries. And it's not okay. It's not okay that you just disappear. That's not, like, that's okay if that's what you want to do. I don't need to deal with that. That's not in the best interest for me to have to deal with that. But I think, like, again, like, this blindsided, this person really, really, really flipped the script on you with this. They very much acted out of the assigned role that you subconsciously had in your mind for them. So I think there is a little bit of catch up in terms of this dynamic. There could be a little bit of catch up that you have to play between the person that you were in the cycle with historically in the past and the person that you're engaging with today, because they seems like they're two different people. Like they're the same person, but they're not the same. This person isn't the same as you knew them to be. They're not going to act in the same way that you expect them to. You really can't predict their behavior. Okay, so that's that situation there. What I'm going to do now is just have a look at what your guides want you to do about it. Like what, not like do about it, but like what your guides, the advice they want to give you regarding this. So universe, please, insight and information. What should this person do regarding this to help them move forward in the most positive and aligned way, to help them unblock these different areas of their life? Okay. Yeah. Things are really, really, really tied up. Four of Swords. There is like so much blocked up here with this, with your energy. So much. There is, yeah. It's like overwhelming. What you want to do is, it feels like this particular thing has emotionally got you so wound up and like tight. And if you're not the kind of person who is going to deal with those kinds of things, then you're going to stay really bound. So if you want to unlock all of these other areas in your life, you're going to need to like get into this thing. I think that the fact that it showed up straight away, this event happening in your life has permeated and affected so many other areas of your life. This is the way to address it. because it comes from an emotional blockage. We have the Star in reverse, the Seven of Wands in reverse, and the Empress in reverse. It feels like it feels like with this person gone, it feels like the light is gone and like purpose in general has gone. It feels like they casted like a bright light over the darkness, and without them, it's just the darkness. All of their beautiful, giving, loving energy and like work that they put into this relationship is just gone. And if you're not feeling it, which I have a feeling you probably are feeling that, you're just feeling the absolute absence of them in your life, you're going to feel it soon. This is also representing that like they are very much, the energy towards you has come to a halt. If part of you is like hoping for a time when they are going to return to giving in the way that they have in the past, they are not that person anymore. And they don't give endless energy to people that withdraw theirs so quickly. It's interesting as I bring that up, that does seem to be this like contradiction, you know, in like really upset about the withdrawal of energy coming from this person when it came from you withdrawing. Maybe that's something to have a think on. Okay. We have the Five of Swords. We have the Five of Swords and the Six of Wands. Okay. I think this is only going to make sense for the people that this reading is like truly resonating with, but I feel like you're afraid to move forward back into this dynamic, this relationship, this conversation, because within it holds so much guilt and shame for you. And part of you really, really, really doesn't want to face that or face the consequences of that. So it's just like, this is why you'd probably rather try and just address all the symptoms of your emotional blockages rather than address the emotional blockage. Because if you have to go address that, you have to address your own shame, your own guilt, your missteps. And that, I think, is terrifying for you. Something that you won't even consider. You don't want to be in a conversation with someone where you have to face all of that stuff and then not inevitably, but potentially still be rejected by them. Like, what's the point of entering that conversation if you're just going to have to face all the ugly parts of yourselves and also not receive love or energy from this person? Like, if you're not going to receive the love and energy, then why don't you just go about your life not receiving it? That feels like your justification in your mind. You can go your life without receiving their energy, or you can go your life by first re-entering into this dynamic, having communication with them where you have to face all your guilt and your shame, and then still not receive their energy. So like, well, it's the same outcome. So Why do I have to deal with that? You have to deal with that because this is the thing that is blocking you up. You have to deal with that because that's what grown-ups have to do. Like, you have to face the music. You have to take accountability. And until you take that accountability, there is like a ethical and moral dilemma, like a cognitive dissonance that sits within you. Even though you can justify that at the end it's the same outcome, we always know that it's the journey. The journey is the point. And if you have done something shameful or hurtful and you don't take accountability, because what's the accountability going to get you? We don't take accountability to get something. Take accountability because that's your responsibility to do. And there is a potential for it to still be absolutely defeating once you do it. But if that is the case, if you go to this person and you face your shame and your guilt, and you still don't receive their love, you can walk away at least knowing that even if you don't get their love again, then you did the most loving thing by taking accountability for what you did. Think about it the other way. It's like you could not take accountability and never receive this person's love, or you could take accountability and leave this person knowing that they weren't in the wrong. And it can give them a closure. And that will leave you with a closure, even if the connection doesn't go any further from that point. It's like not like taking accountability. It leaves blame in the wrong place. It leaves the effort for closure on both sides like kind of unending. Let's see what else. Bottom of the deck, 9 of Wands in reverse. It's not as closed off as you think that it is. Whatever this thing is, it's not as closed off as you think it is. And I think you know that. And I think that if you're thinking that it's really closed off and that you have absolutely no way back in, you know you're using that as a justification. Oh, I don't want to take all those cards. My mind can't take that many cards, please. Universe, Satan, less cards than that. 9 of Swords. It's not going to be as painful as you think it's going to be. It's a lot bigger in your head than you think it's going to be. Anyways, let's get to the Oracle cards. Sorry for my low mood. I've just had a weird freaking day, you know? Had a weird couple days. With some weird interactions and... Anyways, neither here nor there. Flower child, momentum, creativity, action. I hope that over everyone else you learn to make yourself proud. I think that doing things that aren't just for your own ends or your own gains, but are for the benefit of others is going to make yourself really proud. Doing something that you wouldn't usually do, doing something really out of character. What's it called when they refer to something being a core plot point or something? It's canon. This is a canon event. The Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. This might feel like the hardest thing you've ever had to do. Don't you want to do the hardest thing you've ever had to do? Or do you want to look at that and be like, no, I'm not doing that? Look, you're faced with a situation that's the hardest thing you've ever had to do, and there is something in you, something in your environment that is demanding that you do it. And And it's not like going to injure you physically and not going to hurt anyone else. It's like, okay, someone was like, do you want to do a high rocks? Kind of, yeah. Do you want to run a marathon? Yeah, one day. Do you want to lift twice your body weight? One day. You know, that sounds like the hardest thing you'll ever have to do. Do you want to set yourself free from emotional blockages? Yeah. What do I have to do to get there? The hardest thing you ever have to do. You have to face your guilt and your shame. You have to say sorry and apologize to the people that you've wronged. Yeah, bet I'll do that. But that's just me. That's me. I hope you guys are doing okay. I know this is a really weird reading. I feel like it probably just needed to happen because whoever needed this, the energy's been sitting around, or this message has been like really affecting me today. So I hope that with it being out there for you, the messages having come through and I allowed them through, that I can move on to the next messages. But yeah, hope you're doing okay. Super heavy energy. I'll be thinking of you. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I will see you in the next reading.